Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Giggity. This is essentially my first Ark News addition to my channel. I normally don't do these type of things, but we have a lot of stuff coming up. I just want to cover that with you. We finally have a rough idea of when Ark 2 is going to be released. We have, I guess, a new version of the game, because we have to pay for it, and a new dinosaur. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and start with the new dinosaur. So here it is, the Rhinognatha. Giant moth with some pincers. Apparently this thing is going to be massive, and some are calling it the Giga of the sky. I'm only going to go over the basics of this, but this will be coming out mid to late June, so that's not too far away. Let's just go over a little bit of this dinosaur, just to see what we're getting into. The Rhinognatha is the oldest insect known for modern science, and most of it is still a mystery, so I made a deep research in order to adapt it properly. Its head is based on the most famous rhino fossils. I merged different modern insects and heavy inspiration from the fossil's shape to get a scary look. It's yet unknown if it was an insect or a myriapod, but as the oldest ancestor for both, I decided to add features from both to its new design. As you can see, several body segments like a myriapod, antenna, 6 legs, and wings like an insect. Its wings are based on the caligo's wings, which use allies as a form of mimicry to look dangerous. As you noticed, if you have explored the Arctic oceans, they are like the Tuso's eyes. Besides a cool visual feature, it's also an important part of a skill we will explain later. And here it goes on to explain that it added some amber glowing looking parts along its joints for the legs. Sci-fi fantasy feature of the concept, but I believe it's a great reference to the previous fossil and to the Jurassic amber mosquito to depict the fact that this was arguably the first insect ever. It's also important for some skills we will explain later. So glowing amber, probably gonna have a charge like a glow bug or something. They love rideable insects like mantis and arthros. Anyway, I love to see flying rideable insect in the game, so even if the real Rhinognatha was way smaller, I decided to do it really big, make it both cool and to ride and a threat to fight. Then it goes over skills, which it looks like it's a heavy carrier, Rexes, Yankees, all kinds of good stuff. This is going to be a really cool feature, and then apparently when you can change the swimming form to mimic that of a Tuso, hence the eyes. That'll be really cool. I think one of my favorite features going through all of this was the saddle. But you got weaknesses, aiming, and the saddle is to mimic a motorcycle seat, which I thought was really cool and intuitive of them to include. It's a nice little idea. But if you want to go through this and read all of it for your own self, I'll go ahead and link this page in the description of the video. But you know, there's a lot of information. Let's go ahead and get over to the community crunch, see what else is updating. Now this is where things get a little interesting and exciting, but disappointing at the same time. Ark Survival Ascended, which is Ark just upgraded to Unreal Engine 5, is going to end up costing us $50 just for the start. Then we also get to buy the Explorer passes again, which includes Scorched, Aberration, Extinction, and then the second pass will be Genesis and Genesis Part 1 and Genesis Part 2. But we're not going to get all these at once. We'll get Scorched and Aberration this year, Extinction early next year, then Genesis through different parts of next year. I don't really agree with this. It's just a graphics upgrade for the game, but we're having to pay for everything all over again. And I don't really care for that. It's kind of got me upset that I'm gonna have to pay for everything, because I own everything. I have both versions of one for Microsoft for Xbox, and then I have Steam. And I have everything for both. And I'm not really looking forward to having to pay for all that again just for a graphics upgrade. I mean, they better fix grapple glitching, meshes, a lot of issues that the game currently has. Like, they better get rid of all the bugs and make this feel like a brand new game to be willing to pay $50. I mean, granted, when we buy this pack, we have Ark 2 included. So you get the new graphics, Ark 2, which isn't going to be released till close to the end of next year, 2024. So they're basically saying this is going to be a brand new game by charging us for it and making us buy the season passes. I don't know why that can't roll over to the next game. Sure, I don't mind paying the $50 if I am receiving Ark 2 in the long run, but I don't agree with the season passes. That's a little much. I think they need to get their stuff together on that. I mean, even PlayStation 5 users are getting it right away, so it's not a big deal. But here's a little information for the Unreal Engine 5 overhaul with Nanite, Lumen, RTXD. We got all these cool little features coming in with the game. Go ahead and pause if you'd like to see some of this. I'll scroll really slow for you. Now this is going to be interesting. We got a new content, QoL improvement, balance, and gameplay changes, including but not limited to. We've got update to the minimap, pan, zoom, ping, etc. So hopefully it'll be more interactive like the rest map. You'll be able to ping where you want to be. Hopefully your teammates will be able to see that. So if you have newer teammates and you want to pin a location on the map, tell them this is where we're going to be basing. Anybody can just fresh spawn and head straight there. I know there's not too many people that don't know the maps, but at the same time, there's new people joining the game every day, so it's understandable. New structures, display cases, smaller tech teleporters, and building QoL improvement, snap fixes increased, foundation support, foundation height adjustment, and more. That'll be nice. And apparently new queuing system, third-person camera with the option to opt out, which I will. I'm not that great at third person. I don't really care for it. That's why it's going to be rough getting used to Ark 2, because apparently that's going to be third person only, from what I understand. Directional sprinting and walking. Have you ever tried running sideways? I have. It doesn't work out. I usually trip over my feet. Gamepad cursor, chibi slot, and skins tab. So hopefully that's just a whole new inventory pack right there. Adding an extra slot so that you don't have all those annoying skins right there in your inventory and they don't count against your slot caps. And apparently at some point it's too exhaustive for them to type it out and just put it in here. But there's going to be other things that are going to be going on. Now going to live operations. Final cut update. Content update. That will be the Radio Natha, the new Tame. I don't think anything else is happening other than that. Cross-platform. ASA is the Ark Survival Ascended, the new game, as they want to call it. Holiday events coming up. Official servers. With the launch of ASA at the end of August, we will be taking down all official servers on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC for Ark Survival Evolved. At that time, the final save data from the Ark Survival Evolved official servers will be uploaded for players to rehost their own servers to play in single-player Daddy, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, official players are about to get really pissed off when ASA launches. That's going to be a big one for a lot of people. Years of work, mutations, breeding lines, and all that just gone. Which I personally think some servers for official do need a wipe on a rotation. I just don't think all of them should. Some of them, I understand people want to stay with the same tribes, keep all their stuff, all their loot, all their breeding lines. So I think they should just set aside a section that gets wiped half and half. Some get wiped, some don't. But don't allow you to teleport from one server to the next. That's just my idea on it. Just they can go from one server to the next, just not if one wipes and the other doesn't. It needs to be on a fair playing ground so that you can't go to the ones that do wipe versus the ones that don't. Ark Survival Ascended updates, like I said, coming out in August, late August this year. Don't worry, I'm going to be making some content on that. Ark Survival Evolved updates, be limited crashes and bug fixes. So that's a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff happening really soon. I'm excited to see it for the most part. I'll link both of these things in the description if you want to read in full detail. And if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot. I'll see you guys next time.